Email marketing and email marketing automation is the foundation for any business. So in the past, we've been relying on ActiveCampaign, ConvertKit, and so on. So the question is, if you're a WordPress user, is there a solution for WordPress that manages your emails and provides all the automation in a very consistent and solid way? Well, there has been a product that I've been using for many years now, and it has been really doing well. So in this video, I want to share this with you because it has saved me a lot of time, and also I've been enjoying using it. Let's dive in and let's talk about FluentCRM, and this is the review for 2025. And by the way, I have a link in the video description below if you want to go ahead and purchase it. So over here, I have a basic WordPress website. So I've already gone ahead and installed FluentCRM. So I'm going to come over here to my dashboard so you can see where it is. There it is. So in this example, I'm running the pro version because it has all the features, and I highly recommend that that's the one that you want to go for because there's no limitations. So first of all, when you go to the dashboard, you can see that it is a very simple dashboard. And the first thing you need to be aware of when you start using FluentCRM is to just follow these steps because it is very important. So let's go ahead and create a tag and see how easy it is to do this. So I'm going to click on create a tag. So now all I have to do is to click on this plus to create a tag. So these are going to be, let's say, anyone who downloads my freebie. So I'm going to call this freebie. But of course, you can name this whatever you want. So you can also go ahead here and give it a description. But in this situation, I'm not going to do that. Okay. And creating another one, again, it's very easy. You can just click on this plus button and then you can say these people are perhaps maybe your customers. Okay. Now, it is very important that you create all these tags because later on, as your business grows, at times you want to send emails out to specific people that have a specific tag. So for example, let's say you want to send an email out, but you only want to send it to customers. This is where you are going to select your customers. Okay. So I will show you how to do that as time goes on. So that is how you create your tags. Right. Now let's move on to the next part. Now, there's also a situation where you may want to import, let's say, members or users from other platforms. Okay, so let me show you. So if I come over here to add contact, you can see that I can add manually here. So let's say this is Mike, and then I'm going to add the email address here. In fact, let's just go with this one here. Oops. I thought it was going to be easy for me to just click and add it. All right, so let's call this mike@mike.com. I know it is not a proper email. I don't like typing a lot. All right, so I've just added a user there, and you can see now that you are going to have a lot of information, and this is what I like about FluentCRM. This user has emails here, so we can see how many email campaigns and automations they have clicked on. There will be a lot of stats over here. Okay, if you come over here to purchase history, if you have WooCommerce installed, for example, you can see the purchase history. Over here, you can see the form submissions. If you want to make notes on this particular user, you can go ahead and add a note. Look at that. You can just come over here, add the date. So let's say it's the 30th. You can also come over here and perhaps give your note a title. So let's just call this upgrade, for example, and then you can just, add whatever information here it is. So next time, let's say you're doing maybe checks on this user, or maybe they contact you and say, look, my account is not working properly. This happened on such a day. You can always come over here to notes and activities and check it out right here. If you have courses, you can just come over here and take a look at all the courses. So as you can see, this is very powerful. All right. So let's go back to our dashboard here. So let's say you want to contacts, and these contacts are from, let's say, another third party, right? This is what you would do. You'd click over here on import, and you have several options here. You can import from WordPress users, WooCommerce, Tutor LMS, or you can also import from other providers. Okay, so when you click here now, notice that you have your ConvertKit, MailChimp, MailerLite, Drip, ActiveCampaign, and so on. So if you had your subscribers on ActiveCampaign, you can just click on that and then import them, and they will be imported onto FluentCRM. So as you can see, it is very easy to move your data from other service providers, and this is a huge plus. Okay, so let's head over back here. So let's say you want to export for whatever reason. You can just come over here and then you can check whatever it is that you want here, whatever data it is, and then you can just export all your subscribers. Now, this again is very, very useful if you want to migrate your users to a different platform. But I don't know why you will do that, because FluentCRM is really, really awesome. Okay, now let's move on to the next part. So the next part I want to talk about is, let's say you want some automation to happen as you are sending your emails out. So I'm just going to go back here to my main dashboard, and the next part here is to create a campaign. So over here on the campaign, this is of course the core of any email program. So if you want to create your campaign, you can just come over here, and I'm going to call this Mac Test. Okay, but of course you can give this whatever name you want. Now, what is really cool about FluentCRM is there's different ways to create your campaign. So here we have our template. This is a simple template. Over here we have our plain and centered. We also have our text left, classic editor. So this is where you can use your classic editor. You can add your smart codes here, your first name, last name, and so on. Pretty cool. And then over here you have raw HTML, if you're someone that wants to use raw HTML. But my favorite one here is the visual builder. Okay. Now, if I click here on blank, over here on the right, you notice that I can just drag and drop items here. So let's say I want to add a heading. I can just drag and drop it. If I need to add something else, I can just close out of here. Maybe it's a button, drag and drop it, and close here as again. Let's say I want to add an image. Again, I'm just drag and drop it. So think about this as a, say, page builder. So now that I have the image selected here, I can always go into upload image. I can add my image here from, let's say, my media library. Then I'm going to say insert into post, and you can see that it is very, very easy to add it. Now, what is also important about FluentCRM here is it also has AI, and you can see here magic image. So you can actually use this. Now, if we come over here to the button, it also has AI on the button. So you can actually click here, say try now. And then we're just going to go in here, and this is going to generate some AI for us. You can see here it says, let's get started, discover more, dive in, and so on. So let's say I choose that, it's gone in and selected it. Now, this also happens, let's say, with our headings. As you can see here, I can go in and use AI for my headings, AI for my paragraph text, and this comes in built with FluentCRM. Again, this is really, really, really awesome. All right. So let's say you're happy with that. You can click on continue. You can give this a subject line. So I'm just going to call this welcome, for example. You can give this a pre-header if you want. And then we are going to click on continue. Now remember, we created some tags. Now this is where the tags come in. Okay. So let's say I want to send this email to a specific list. Well, I don't have a list here, but I have some tags. I can say, well, I want this email to go to all the customers. And just like that, I can now click on continue, and my emails are now going to be sent to customers. If I want to send them to just someone who has a freebie tag, again, I can select my tag here. The number will be given here, and then I can click on continue, and I can send my emails that way. Now, there's one thing that I was concerned about when using FluentCRM, because when I was using ConvertKit, it was very easy for me to go in and see different segments of my subscribers, those that don't click on anything and stuff like that, and how to segment them. So this is where you do it. You come over here to dynamic segments. Oh my goodness. Anyway, you know what I mean, right? So you come over here to WordPress users, for example, and you'll have a list of your WordPress users, and you can give conditions here. You can also add some filters. Like, for example, let's say I wanted to add a filter here. I could say contact, and then I would say, perhaps I want to go to contact segment, and I would say maybe, or contact activities. Okay. Last email sent, or last email opened, or last email clicked. So I can go to that, and then I can say before, and then select my date here. So I could say, okay, last email clicked before this date, right? It'll give me a list of the people here. So if I want to go ahead and delete them, that is where I can go ahead and delete them, or I can just create a new, say, segment, and then send them the final emails before I remove them from the list. So that is how segmentation works here. It is really, really cool. Okay, so I know we're talking about email and I'm covering quite a lot. Here we're still on the dashboard. You can see this dashboard here is very, very easy to follow. Over here, if you have WooCommerce installed, you can actually see the sales that are happening today, sales this month, and so on. And here we also have our quick links. All right. Now let's go on to the fun stuff. I've shown you how to go in and add your email campaign, and all your emails are going to be here. Now, when you send your emails, you're also going to have your stats. Now, this is where you'd go in and take a look at all your stats. You can see here, sent, opened, clicked, unsubscribed, and so on, which is also very, very good if you want to see how your emails are performing and how your subscribers are opening your emails and so on, which is fantastic. Now, when you hover over here, we also have other features. So we have our email templates here. So if you want to speed up the way you work, you have your email templates, you have your recurring campaigns, you also have email sequences. Now this again is really, really powerful. So let's say someone signs up for, let's say, whatever product or whatever whatever form that they have subscribed on, and you want them to get a sequence of emails, one after another, and so on. This is where you would create your sequence. So I'm going to say this sequence is for the freebie, okay? So I can say next, and then I can create my first email. Look at that. So I can give my email. So I can say email 1, but of course you want to give proper headlines here, okay? You don't want to just say email 1. And then over here you can choose your drag and drop, add it in there. You can also use some templates. You can see this one here is sales and this one here is standard. So I'm just going to go with standard here like that, okay? So you can say delay 1 day, right? And then click on save. So that is the email that will be sent after 1 day. Okay, you can also send your test email there. So I'm going to go back to my email sequences. So you can see here, that's my email. Let's say I want to send a second email. I can go ahead here and create new sequence. And then I'm going to say customers, or let's say freebie 2. Next, I've got the same name. So let's call this freebie 2, okay? Right, so now that I have this, I can create my email sequence, give this download reminder, for example, and hopefully I can save this because I don't want to go in and type. Okay, I think I've saved this. But here now, I can also say delay 2 days. I can also add a sending range, time, and so on. So as you can see here, this is pretty cool. All right, so that's our email sequences. Now, let's say you want to collect emails from, let's say, an opt-in page. Now, I've quickly created a page here with a form. So let's say you want to add all these people that come to this landing page to your email list. Again, you can actually set up this on FluentCRM, which is also really cool. Now, let me show you how to do that. So I've just created a form using Fluent Forms, and I'll show you where the form is. It is right here on Forms. So there we go. So this is my freebie. Okay. Now I haven't done anything here. So where things get really exciting is when you start doing the automations. And this is the power of FluentCRM. So let me show you how this works. So I want to go back to the dashboard here, and we want to come over here now to automations. So let's click on first automation. Now, as you can see, we have some templates here, re-engagement email, WooCommerce feedback, blah, 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 blah. So let's first of all create a basic automation. So for this, I'm going to say form submission, okay? Because we have a form. Remember, we created it. So let's give this a label. So I'm going to say downloaded freebie, okay? Next, I'm going to come over here now to continue because I've already selected it. So here's where I can now choose the form. So the form is called my freebie. Okay, you see that? And all I have to do now is to map my first name with first name. There we go, name. And then I need to map my email with email. So I'm going to come over here and add my email. Now the rest here, I'm not really bothered about that. And then I think that's all. I'm going to click on save. So when someone fills in this form, which is this form right here, here's what happens. We are now starting to add all the actions. I can click on this plus button. So I can say apply tag, right? So there's two things here. Remember, I have my tags, and this one here obviously would go to freebie because I've already created it. So over here, I can click on this plus button and I can create a new tag. So I don't have to go back to the main page and then start adding it there. And, it just takes too much time. So here I'm going to say downloaded freebie. Okay, how about that? Freebie, like that. Okay, so I'm going to say add. So what has happened now is it has already created a brand new tag for me called downloaded freebie. I'm going to hit save. So at this point now, we can say, oh, well, how about we send them a custom email? So this could be an email just to say, hey, download your freebie. So let's go ahead and say download your freebie, right? But of course, it can be whatever you want. I'm just giving this as an example. You add your content here. If you want to use your template, you can just go ahead and do that. Okay. So now this is getting exciting. They have filled in the form. They have a tag added to them. You've sent them a custom email. How cool is that? Now, here's where, again, things get exciting. If you click on this plus button, we can now say wait. And then you can say, okay, let's wait perhaps maybe 1 day, or if you want to add it as hours, you can go in and say hours, 1 hour, save settings, and you can continue building your funnel here. You can add them to an email list. Now remember, we created a list. So let's say I want to add them to the list. And because I've already created it, I can just click on this drop down here and add the list. I'm not sure why I don't have my email list here. Anyway, I have my email sequence. So at any point, you can always go in here and delete it if you don't want that step anymore. But as you can see, there's so much that we have here. You can also add notes, you can add split testing, and when you scroll down here, now here's the cool thing. When you have programs like Tutor LMS or Lifter LMS and WooCommerce and stuff like that, it just gets added over here, ready for you to automate. So if this sequence was maybe I wanted to collect emails and I wanted to add them to a free course, I can actually enroll them onto a course by just coming over here to Tutor LMS, click on enroll, and then I can come over here and this is the course that I want to enroll them to. And then I can say, do not enroll the course if contact is not an existing WordPress user. Now I can check that if I want to, but this will create a WordPress user and save it. Now I know I've just added them to the course here. I actually pre-installed Tutor LMS so that I could use this in this demo. But of course, if you don't have Tutor LMS installed, then you can't do this automation, okay? These things only show up when you've actually added the software for this to work. So I've enrolled them on the course. I can go ahead now. I can do so much. And this will all work behind the scenes. So here I can also create a coupon code for them and perhaps maybe offer them a product that I'm selling on my website, right? So let's say I am happy with all this. I can go ahead now and click on end funnel, and then the funnel ends here. Now there's also other things that I can do. For example, I can add conditional. You see, now there's so much power in this that it is really exciting to use. So I can say check condition, and then I can add my condition here. My condition can be maybe based on, and I'm going to say purchase products. Now I have a few products that I've created here. So let's say that's the product, and I'm going to click on save settings. Okay. So now I'm going to say check condition. Okay. The condition is if they've purchased that product that I've just selected. If yes, right, I can say, okay, end this funnel here. Okay. Because I don't have to do anything else. They've purchased the product. That's all good. But if they haven't purchased the product, I can now give them a coupon. Okay. So I can come over here, add a coupon and save settings. Now I don't want to go in and, create the coupon and so on, but I guess you can see what I'm doing here. And then of course you can send them an email, about the product that you're selling that you want to promote and so on. So as you can see, this is all coming from FluentCRM. Super powerful. So these automations here are unlimited. You don't have to get stuck with maybe 10 automations or whatever it is. It's unlimited automations. Now, what is cool here is after you've said publish, you can view reports, and this goes into a lot of detail. I mean, you have a chart report, you have a step report, you have email analytics. I mean, you can really drill down and see what is happening on your system. Okay, now back over here on automations. Now these automations start in so many ways. Okay, so remember this very first one started with someone filling in a form. So you can actually start, a different automation from scratch, and you can start by saying, okay, I want to start this when someone orders a product. So I can say order completed, continue, and then I can choose the product itself. And let's say this is the product, and then it all continues like that, right? So that could be another automation that is running. And then I can always go back to automations again, and you can see they're all being added now. Let's say I want another one. New automation, but this time I want an automation that is applied when someone orders a refund. Because remember, let's say you're running a course on your website and someone has said, you know what, I want a refund. I don't want the course anymore. Well, can you imagine if this is happening on a regular basis? You would need to go in and manually remove them from this group, remove them from this community, remove them from this and that. But with this now, you can simply go in and say, okay, order refunded. Okay, so I'm going to say refunded and then hit continue. So with that now, target the product. Let's say my lorem ipsum is the product. I can hit save settings and then I can come over here and say, okay, I want to remove the tag, right? Remove tag. Choose the tag, customer, right? Save settings. So now the tag, the customer tag has been removed. I can also come over here and say remove from course. Select the course and let's say this is the course, save settings. And let's say I'm happy with that, publish it. So this all will happen behind the scenes without you going in manually and removing things, adding things, it's just a headache. Trust me, when you have a course, let's say with, or maybe a product or a course with say 200 or 300 people, it's overwhelming. This is why sometimes even for me, I really struggled with the support. But if you have these automations ready, they can just run in the background without even you worrying about anything. Okay, so you're probably thinking, well, if I purchase FluentCRM, what else can I do with it? Well, there's a lot. I mean, if we take a look here, we also have other reports. I mean, this goes into even more detail. So this is your CRM report. We also have our WooCommerce report. So here, all the data is synced between WooCommerce and FluentCRM. So all your purchases and how your store is performing is all here. You also have Tutor LMS. If you're running your courses, you can see all the data over here. Now, I wish I could show you how I've applied this on my own website, but of course, there's a lot of emails that I wouldn't want to really show because it's private information. So I just have to, show you this, although this is blank. Okay, now there's a ton of features. If you come over here now onto the settings, you can see here we have our email settings, from name, reply name, and so on. You have our general settings here. You can auto sync data, contacts, and so on. So all these things, you can set up beforehand. We also have things like custom contact fields. You can go in and set everything up here. Smart links is really cool. Let's say you want to track how many people are clicking on a specific link. I mean, you can create a smart link and you can actually see this. The stats will be shown over here and it is really, really cool. I've actually used this to track how many people are clicking on my promotions. Over here, we have our double opt-in settings. If you want to set up double opt-in, we also have abundant cart. Now, all this is in what? In FluentCRM. Do you see how crazy this is? This would have been a separate plugin that you needed to add onto your website, but we don't have to worry about that because it is already added in. So to activate this, you can just go in, activate it, and then you can go through, all the settings here, the emails and so on, and you're good to go. Here we also have our integration settings for WooCommerce, Tutor LMS. Now, if you had more programs or more softwares, you can just go in and add them on here. Next, we have our webhooks. Now, for those of you super geeks out there that love to use webhooks, this is where you can go in and create your webhooks. Give it a name here, default list, blah, 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 and create your webhooks. Now, moving on, you can also have managers running your website and running your CRM. So this is where you can add them. You can add your new manager by coming over here. And moving on, we also have our REST API here. We also have our tools. So if you wanted to go in here and check a few things, delete data, reset CRM data, and so on, or clean up, this is where you would come in and do all of that. Okay. We also have compliance here. And here we also have our SMTP settings and so on. Now, at this point, you're probably thinking, well, what about integrations? I probably use different types of softwares. Will this work with FluentCRM? Well, if we come over here, you're going to notice that there are over 40 integrations. So you have Wishlist Member, Fluent Support, Elementor, WooCommerce, Divi, Presto Player, LearnDash, Fluent Forms, Uncanny Automator, Shortcut. In fact, I actually use Shortcut with FluentCRM. Really amazing. I've been using this lately and it works flawlessly. Easy digital downloads, MemberPress, Buddy Boss. I mean, look at this. I mean, it is really, 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 really cool. So as you can see, you can automate quite a lot of things. And let's talk about the pricing, because pricing here is very, very important. Now, I've actually managed to run my lists or build my list up to about 10,000 subscribers. But when you start hitting those numbers, notice how much it's going to cost you here. You are now going to be paying $100 per month. Think about it. Per month, $100. Even if you don't send the emails out, you're still going to pay $100 a month. Now, of course, you can offset it and say, well, if you have an email list of 10,000, then, 100,000 is okay. Now, trust me, this becomes a cost which is very annoying, because there are times where you can't keep sending emails out every day to make use of it. People will unsubscribe. So you need to have, a pattern of sending out your emails. So even though it's large, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're making money every month from your list. But this now becomes a cost. You see, now if you wanted to go for the Pro, which has more features, we're talking about $140 per month. Now, with 10,000 subscribers, I want to show you how much I was paying, or I'm paying, with my current setup. Now, look at this. This is my upcoming bill from January the 1st to January 31st, 2025, which is this year. This is the latest, okay? I'm only paying $3.81. I mean, this is crazy. By the way, I'm using Amazon SES, okay, Simple Mail Service. So if you connect FluentCRM with Amazon SES, it is going to be super cheap. I mean, I can send however amount of emails I want from this. It is really, really good. So you're going to save money. So when you purchase FluentCRM, you purchase it once and that's it. You don't have to purchase it so many times. And when it comes to running your emails now, you're running it from your email list. I mean, it's from Amazon SES, which is super cheap, and it is amazing. It is super amazing. So this is why I highly recommend that you really think about FluentCRM, because the integrations are easy, the interface is very easy to use, and also overall, you have total control of what happens to your data, and this is on your email, it's on your website. So this is really, really cool. Now, I know this is a really big software program and there's a bit of a learning curve that you may need to follow. Now, here's my offer. If you purchase FluentCRM using my affiliate link, I'm going to create a special group where you can ask me questions and I can provide support. Okay, you can ask me questions. I can even do some videos showing you how to set it up the right way and so on, because obviously you don't want to have a program like this and then you're stuck with it and you want to look for solutions all over the internet. Now, if you purchase this using my affiliate link, you contact me and then I'll add you to my group or my community and then we can help each other there. Anyway, let me know what you think. In my opinion, this is one of the best plugins I've ever used in WordPress. Anyway, guys, thank you very much, and I will see you again in the next one. Take care.